Hi, so this is a pretty unscripted kind of video. I'm just going to be talking about things and giving my opinion on a lot of stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is Sonic. Roger Craig Smith is gone, so we're getting a new voice cast entirely, and we know this because a lot of the other voice actors and actresses have been confirmed to be not coming back. So in this case, Amy and also Tails. Which Tails was a bit surprising because I know that Tails' voice actress actually changed at some point during the Sonic Boom era, so I was under the assumption that maybe she would be coming back for at least one or two more games, but apparently not. Apparently, by the looks of it, most people are going to be getting replaced. I'm assuming Mike Pollock will still be around because he's been Eggman since the Sonic X era, which is like the early to mid 2000s, I think. Roughly that area, somewhere around that time. And he has become Eggman at this point, and I don't think anyone is ever going to replace him. Like, unless something horrible happens to him or he just decides he's ready to retire, I don't think anyone will ever replace that guy. There's also been some talk about Sonic potentially getting a reboot, and I'm open to this idea, just depending on how they go about it. If they decide to give the characters a slight redesign, I'm, again, open to that idea, but I don't want it to be anything as drastic as, say, Sonic Boom. You know, I wouldn't mind Sonic maybe getting a new pair of sneakers and maybe even the scarf or something, but I don't want anything too drastic. Just change it enough to where it's like, okay, yes, this is a new Sonic. This is a new thing that everyone's going to get into, but not necessarily erasing everything that happened in the past. So more of a soft reboot. And the main reason I want a soft reboot rather than just a full-on reboot is because there's still a lot of good things that happened in games like Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, Sonic Lost World, and yes, Sonic Forces that I liked, and you know, I don't necessarily want them to be erased. However, it's obvious that Sonic is not in a good spot as far as storytelling goes. I don't think Sonic as a whole is in a bad spot. No, I think Sonic as a whole is doing fantastically right now. And that's a topic that honestly deserves its own video, which, you know, I may or may not get around to that. It's a video that I would definitely have to script out. But for the most part, I think Sonic as a whole is in a really good spot. Anyway, as far as the story goes, yeah, I would like a new set of writers, which, based on the rumors that have been going around, are saying Pontek and Graf are no longer writing for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Anyway, it's not confirmed per se, it's just heavily implied. So, and even if they are officially done, even if their contract has officially run out, it's still important to note that that does not necessarily mean that they didn't work on the next major Sonic title. But yeah, this doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't worked on the next major Sonic title. And same thing with the voice cast. It's entirely possible that they still worked on whatever the next Sonic game is called, whether it's actually Sonic Rift, or the Adventure remakes, or something completely different that hasn't been leaked. It's possible that they are still in that game. So let's not jump to conclusions and say, oh, the next Sonic game is going to be something completely different. Because if Sonic Rift ends up being the real thing, it's possible that Roger and that entire voice cast, as well as Pontek and Graf, are still all over that game, that they're still being featured in it, that the writing is still going to be very similar to what we got with Forces and Generations. And although that is disappointing, it's not all bad. Because Sega did say that there are going to be multiple Sonic games this year, so whether it's like a Mania 2 or Adventure remakes, or they decide to give us like a new 2D Sonic game that isn't necessarily classic Sonic, some spin-off titles, obviously we're going to get a mobile game. We don't know what that mobile game is going to be, nothing's been confirmed, but it's safe to assume that we're going to get some kind of mobile game. I guess another thing we can talk about would be Team Fortress 2. You know, I do make a lot of TF2 content, so it's natural that I'd want to talk about it at least a little bit. You go to places like Figpin and their website, you can actually find that they still have the licenses. You can see that they have Team Fortress 2, there's Half-Life 2, and I believe Portal is also here. But the point of that is they've had these licenses for a while now, and they have not done anything with them. They've had these licenses since like 2019, so they've had them for 2 years and they still haven't done anything with these characters yet, which tells me that they're probably never going to, unless they decide, hey, Portal 2 is still popular, or Team Fortress 2 is about to get a major content update. You know, we're probably not going to be getting anything with those licenses, and unless Valve, you know, goes out and says, hey, make some. But considering we haven't even gotten any new pop vinyls for TF2 or Half-Life or anything, I doubt that this will ever happen. This is just something I noticed because the Sonic Fig Pins came out, and so I decided to look at their website and see, hey, what's new? And, oh, apparently there's a Tails and a Knuckles Fig Pin. I already have Sonic, and I also have the glittery Sonic, but I was not expecting Tails and Knuckles. So it looks like Tails is getting an original piece of artwork. That, or this is just some artwork that we've never seen before. And Knuckles is getting some artwork that I think came from Sonic Advance 2. I don't remember, though. But yeah, right now, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails Fig Pins, those are coming out. And, yeah, that's a thing. Now, as far as what I'd like to see from Team Fortress 2, I'd like to see a new set of pop vinyls. I still like collecting those. I still think they're really cool figures, so I would like to see more pop vinyls, but outside of Steam and outside of the TF2 community in general, Team Fortress 2 isn't that big. Like, it's not an esport, it's not something people are constantly talking about. Like, yeah, there's always the memes and stuff, but beyond that, no one's really talking about Team Fortress 2, and as a result, you know, Funko and probably Valve don't see it as a top priority. And I mean, to be fair, the game is really old. You know, it came out in 2007, it's now 2021, so the game is pretty damn old. Because of that, I don't think that they really care to make new merch for it. I have hope that sometime this year TF2 will get a major content update, at least to fix the bot problem. My next TF2 video will probably feature a clip that I have where I just loaded into a server. It was pointing at one of the capture points, and I just saw 3 bots sitting there on the capture point, and so I just immediately left, and I'm probably going to put that clip in the next TF2 clip dump, if I can get enough footage for it. I don't record as much as I used to. I don't know, I used to record anything and everything, and I think overall I'd like to improve the quality of that. I'd like to have everything be a little better. Instead of it just being a kill compilation, I'd rather it be something that's a little more funny. Like, obviously I'm still going to get kills and moments that I'm very proud of, but there's also going to be a lot of funnier things and, you know, just general TF2 moments that I'd like to incorporate more of. And I guess as far as my content goes, I would like to keep making TF2 clip dumps. They're still a lot of fun. I know I had to make them a lot shorter just because there's a lot of effort that goes into just doing the basic editing for them. You know, because I've started off just kind of throwing a bunch of clips together, and admittedly they were pretty boring to watch, but then I started to edit to the beat of the music, whatever it was, and that makes editing much harder, especially when you have a bunch of clips to work with. And it's very easy to just kind of go through all the clips you have when you do it that way. And so part of it is because I don't want to go out of the way to go and record more footage to make a 10-minute long video, but another part of it was because, you know, 10 minutes of the same song just gets old. And yeah, I know, I could change the song at some point in the middle of it, but it gets pretty hard to make a seamless transition, especially when it's like, oh, I like these 2 songs, but they don't necessarily go well together. And, you know, I want to use both of these songs, but I can't because I can't make it work. And, you know, just the sheer amount of time it takes to make even just the minute-long videos is astonishingly high. And, you know, I unfortunately don't have an infinite amount of time. Oh, hey, here's another thing we could talk about. The Dokkan Battle, year 6 anniversary. Yeah, I do play a lot of Dokkan Battle. But yeah, Dokkan Battle had the 6-year anniversary, and I know I made that video showing me pulling the new Int Vegeta. Afterwards, I did end up pulling UI Goku. I don't know if I'm going to make a video on that, though. I don't want to just make a bunch of Dokkan content. There's already a bunch of better YouTubers out there that do much better content than I do, and they've pretty much got that covered, so that's really what it comes down to. you know, I'm not gonna do a bunch of like showcase videos anymore. Like I kind of started a little thing where I did like Bpan and Majub, those LRs and all that, and I was proud of how those thumbnails turned out, but I'm not gonna just do a bunch of those showcase videos. I am 100% free to play in Dokkan though, so I guess if people want to see what it's like being a free to play Dokkan player, then you know, I guess that's a reason to do more Dokkan content. But you know, I like playing games with my friends too, so it's like I do want to do more of the forest. I do have a VR headset, so I can do Phasmophobia in VR if that's something people would like to see. And there's just a lot of games that I'd like to play on my channel, and I don't want to dedicate a huge chunk of my time to making Dokkan content, which, granted, it would be a lot of very easy content to do because I'm playing Dokkan pretty much every day, but, you know, it's just not something I want to do. Or it's not something I want to do a lot of. And as far as my channel goes, I did kind of change the look of it a little bit. I've also been changing the little tag that I've been putting on all of my videos, just a little, it used to be a brighter shade of orange, but now it's a little more of a red-orange to better match the color scheme that I want to aim for. Every video that I make is going to have that tag on it now. It's just a thing to help differentiate my videos from any other video, especially in the case of like Dokkan content, where a lot of thumbnails really do look the same. Like, you go look at like Nano or Truth or anyone for that matter, and you just compare their thumbnails, like, just by looking at the thumbnails, you couldn't tell the difference. You wouldn't be able to tell who made it. So having that tag on there definitely helps differentiate my content from other people's. And I would also like to make a new mascot at some point. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my Pyro loadout, and my mascot will definitely be based off of my Pyro loadout, but it's not going to be Pyro specifically. And that's partially because I don't want to just do Team Fortress 2. You know, I want to make content for all sorts of things, and I don't want to just be a TF2 YouTuber. You know, I've seen a lot of YouTubers that build up a massive following just by playing TF2, and then when they start getting tired of it and they want to start doing other stuff, all of a sudden, you know, their fans start to get a little riled up and people start to get angry because, oh, how dare you not do TF2 content anymore? And I don't want to fall into that same trap in the event that I do build up a following. You know, I absolutely want to just be a content creator that can just do my own thing. Also, another thing I want to talk about is my art stuff that I've been doing. I've made a couple of art time-lapse videos. You've probably seen them. I made one of my Dragon Ball OC Daika, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then Super Vegito. I'd like to keep doing more of those. Again, I'm not going to try to do them too often. Who is messaging me? But I do want to get more art done. I'm still working on a lot of it. You can actually check it out on my DeviantArt page. I'll leave a link in the description. If you guys want to go check out my DeviantArt, please go do so. I actually recently drew a Supersonic, just because I felt like taking a little break from Dragon Ball. Like, yeah, my end goal is to get good at Dragon Ball. That is what I want to get good at drawing. But I decided to take a break and try drawing Sonic because I like Sonic too. In fact, my story with Dragon Ball and Sonic, summed up, is I started off as a Sonic fan. I got into Sonic when I was in like elementary school, and then as time went on, I met some people. One of them who has been featured in my videos, Lightheart, and another one who we've all been like really good friends. We've grown up with each other practically, and Lightheart and my other friend, they both really loved Dragon Ball specifically, and so that was my first exposure to it. But I didn't really start getting into it until like my freshman year of high school. And I decided, okay, you know what? I want to watch some Dragon Ball, see what it's about. And I got on YouTube and I watched some pirated videos, like, you know, just like the re-uploads of Dragon Ball Z Kai, starting from the Cell Saga. And I got addicted. I could not stop watching. Next thing I know, I'm buying all the games, purchasing a bunch of merch. I'm just talking about Dragon Ball. I'm watching the show. I watched all of Dragon Ball Super, GT. And, you know, I discovered Dokkan, and now I'm just this massive Dragon Ball fan. And it's because, and I kind of just glossed over something. The reason I wanted to try it out was because Sonic and Dragon Ball have always been very similar. You know, you look at Super Sonic, like obviously Super Sonic is based off of Super Saiyan, And there's always been the debate of who would win, Super Sonic or Super Saiyan Goku, which that's also another discussion, which I may or may not want to talk about in a future video. If you guys are interested in my take on that, I'd be happy to throw something out there. But started talking about that with my friends, and so Sonic was basically my segue into Dragon Ball. And as a result, Vegito is my favorite character. And the reason for that is because Vegito reminds me a lot of Sonic. Like, for one, he's obviously wearing the blue gi, but he's also a very cocky character. He's not like, he's not like an asshole or anything. I mean, he can be, but he's not, he's not evil. He's definitely not a bad guy. He does care about the people around him, and he does care about helping those around him. But he's also very cocky, and he has the power to back it up. And that's why I took such a liking to Vegito specifically. And I know some people would say, oh, well, Gogeta's better. No, he's not. Sorry, guys. At the moment, I would probably say I'm more so a fan of Dragon Ball than I am of Sonic, but that does not change the fact that Sonic is still my favorite fictional character. And that's probably not going to change ever. Sonic's design is perfect. I can't help but like the character. Even though I don't necessarily like where he is right now. And again, this is an entirely different discussion. I have an idea for a video that I may or may not make sometime soon. It really just depends. With my current living situation, it's very hard for me to sit down and talk to a microphone. So harder to find a time to actually do this, especially since I'm currently trying to get into a full-time position at whatever company can hire me. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this kind of video. It's definitely just kind of me talking and digressing about a bunch of random things that don't necessarily have anything to do with one another, but, if you like this video, again, hit that like button. It tells me that you guys want to see more content like this. I'd be more than happy to do so. Anyhow, I will see you guys later.